Alrighty folks, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. We have some more Zendikar Rising draft, some more archetypes that we have yet to explore, so I'm just going to fire one off right now and just get this one started. Alright then, Zendikar Rising, pack one, pick one. What do we have the fine pleasure of opening today? A pretty nice rare, okay. This card is pretty expensive, but hey, usually in green there should be enough ways to ramp, and especially in this set, and this card is definitely um, the anti-control card. It can't be countered. It's also hexproof, which is definitely difficult to interact with. Most of the time, you won't be able to kick this for approximately 10 mana, but even then, a 7 mana 6/6 haste hexproof is definitely pretty difficult to deal with. And it's a very strong card. It's also a single color, so we can hope something like the Rolling Regrowth can wheel. So other good cards include Relic Vial and Akum Warrior. Relic Vial will mostly go in the best archetype in the set, being the black-white life gain card, but of course it is a gold color card at the very least, so you don't really want to start first with it. And I think Crag Plate Baloth is enough more powerful than the Akum Warrior that I'm just going to take it here. Overall, the commons in this pack are not exciting. There's a Malakir Blood Priest, which I'm a big fan of, but even then, it's not like a first pickable card. Okay, follow up with the Cragplate Baloth. What do we have here? Still nothing too exciting. We have some decent commons, the Growtog Bug Catcher if you want to set up some sort of red-green aggro deck. But in a deck that's looking to play Cragplate Baloth, I think we want to be a little bit more like control or mid-rangey. So we want to at least find ways to ramp into this. Alternatively, there's a Tazeen Royal Mage for a deck that's looking to play lots of removal spells. And other instances, sorceries. The uncommons are like medium, acquisitions expert's okay, spring mantle cleric. It's not even that amazing really because it's just a two-colored set. It's mostly going to come in as a 5-mana 4/5, which is not very exciting. So I think I'm just going to take a Cragplate Baloth, stick with green. I think Cragplate Baloth is a really good 4-drop. Plays well in the same deck that's trying to leverage the Cragplate Baloth with ramp and landfall triggers, and just dropping this on turn 5 and not having this removed right away can be game ending sometimes. So yeah, this pack really doesn't have anything that really stands out, so I think I'm just going to stick with green for now and take the Camp Baloth. Although that's a late Magmatic Channeler. I don't think Magmatic Channeler fits into the same deck as Canopy Baloth and Cragplate Baloth. I think the Rolling Regrowth is correct here, and that will also allow us to splash in the future. Yeah, seeing the Magmatic Channeler game passed to me is a sign that the Blue-Red Wizards deck is open. There's also another Relic Vial being passed. Zof's Consumption is okay. Overall, it's just between these three cards, and given that we have the Baloth and the two Baloths, one that rewards us for landfall and one rewards us for ramping, I don't mind just taking a Rolling Regrowth here. Although this doesn't really help you ramp that much, it only helps you like thin out your deck a bit, and it's essentially like fixing for at the very least. So yeah, we'll take the Rolling Regrowth. Maybe we can drop some sort of landfall deck, and maybe we can splash for a bomb now that we have the Rolling Regrowth. And this pack, nothing exciting. The best cards are like Nahiri's Binding and the Spike of Field Hazard. There's also Haggard Constrictor if I want to move into the black-green +1/+1 counters deck. There's a McKinney Ox for landfall synergy, but I think I would take the Nahiri's Binding over it first. Overall, yeah, just not a very exciting pack. I mean, white-green landfall is a thing, so I could take the Nahiri's Binding. Although the double white is not the easiest cast, I think it's still a very good card. It's probably the worst of the best removal spells in the set. The best being like Royal Eruption, Deadly Alliance, Into the Royal, and Rabbit Bites. Just this being double white, being an enchantment that can be interactive can be a problem, but overall this pack quality also isn't great. If we took the Magmatic Channeler, I think we'd be looking at Spike Field Hazard, but I'm still digging the binding here, of course. And the Tazeen Raptor I'm a big fan of. There's also an Akum Warrior, which can be pretty decent, but the Tazeen Raptor kind of fits with this strategy that we're trying to do in the white-green landfall deck, especially just getting future Mono Dual Face cards back into our hand. It's a 2/2 flyer, which is decent, and then just being able to re-enable landfalls could be quite nice, especially after taking a Nahiri's Binding. I think white, it's a sign that white is open, so I could just clearly stick to the Zeme Royal Mage. There's also Marauding Blight Priest, so the white-black life gain deck could also be open. Overall, I think I would take the Zeme Raptor over McKinney Ox. The Coon Warrior is also decent, but I don't think we're going to be an aggro deck. It seems like we're going to be drafting another white-green landfall mid-range deck. And why not take a Practice Tactics? Can be a decent card if we don't mind having a bit of party synergy with our landfall deck. Although we currently don't have any party creatures. Alternatively, there's nothing much I really like. I mean, I could maybe speculate on red and take a Grotok Bugcatcher. But again, if we're going to be playing a card like Canby Bailoff and Crack Plate Bailoff, I don't really want to be a low to the ground aggro deck. It is a sign though, but Practice Tactics is still alright. Maybe we can pick up a few party members in white, or even green, and this can be solid. Okay, I'll take a Shigeri Shelter, which is pretty late. Okay, white is definitely open. Green might not be as open, but white is definitely open, so I can keep that in mind. Yeah, Shigeri Shelter, nice land that you can play tapped, and a nice protection spell that you can utilize in the later game. Plays well to Zeme Raptor. Seems like a solid pickup here, so I can kind of assume white is the primary color where we want to be, and not necessarily green, although there's a Tajuru Blightblade, but that's a late Royal Eruption, so I think we take it here. Tajuru Blightblade is definitely at a lower power level than Royal Eruption, but it would be perfect in this deck as well. But I'm definitely not going to take it over a Royal Eruption. I could also consider Stonework Pack Piece for party synergies, but a late Royal Eruption is a sign that red is open, and maybe we can just cut off the green, and hopefully end up like red-white maybe. We did pass up on the Magmad Chandler, so I don't feel happy about that. But overall, it's still early. Maybe we can get our benefits, and there's a Teeter Peak Ambusher, but I might as well just take the Cliffhaven Cellsor or a Relic Vial, which is also a sign, so maybe I can ignore the green being open. Yeah, I think the Relic Vial is just too good here. Like, it is for the black-white life gain deck, which we could still be, so I think I'll take it here and assume that white's my primary color and keep my options open. And there's a late Marauding Blight Priest, okay. Nothing amazing green, Sizzling Barrage is not great, so yeah, and a second Relic Vial, okay. So I guess we're just going to be drafting black-white Clerics, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I don't even like the Hagro Constrictor. Might as well take Expedition Champion in case we end up in red-white. I mean, so I think we have options to be in either red-white or white-black for the most part. Because it seems like the Mardu colors are open, but the green is definitely a bit cut off. So kind of disappointed that I did not get my that I passed up on the Magmatic Chandler, but we could still be in white-black, so we shouldn't be punished too much. Here, there's an interesting choice. There's a Needle Leverage Pathway, which can be decent. There's also a Goma Fata Vanguard if we want to get into red-white wars, and red did seem obviously open, but there's also black also seemed open, but overall no great black cards. There's another Zeme Raptor if I want to focus more on landfall. Yeah, it's not great. I could just take the dual land. Although, I mean, if I'm going to be in red-white, I don't really want to miss out on the Goma Fata Vanguard. So maybe we just end up in red-white warriors. Yeah, let's take the Goma Fata Vanguard. It's just pack 1, pick 1. It's pretty disappointing first pick. I think the pack 1, pick 1, I would take Mospit Skeleton over everything else here in the pack. But, yeah, I think we'll just take the Vanguard and hopefully we get rewarded. Red did seem pretty open pretty late, seeing the Expedition Champion, Sneaking Guide, Royal Eruption Meme Pass. So maybe red-white is actually the place to be. And that's a pretty nice white card. Squad Commander is really powerful. Not only is it a warrior, but also rewards us if we can manage to get the full party. And even if we don't get the full party, it's just going to poop out a bunch of 1/1s for us. So it seems really good. There's also Shepherd of Heroes, which I'm also a big fan of. Yeah, and it also seems like green is an open. Umar Wizard's great, but I'm going to take the Squad Commander here. Plays very well what we currently have. There's a Song My Treachery. There's also another Cliffhaven Sellsword. I could use a good 2-drop here, a Warrior, but we can always pick up those later. The Song My Treachery is fine too. We're not in blue. We're not in the Ninjas deck. Yeah, I guess I'll take the Song My Treachery here. I mean, we're bound to get a 2-drop later, I think. And I think we're going to be in red-white, if I'm not mistaken. Seems really open. Overall, black-white life gain did seem open in the first pack, but overall there's nothing amazing here in black-white life gain that I care about. So let's take a Song Mad Treachery. Take a nice Mono Dual Face card. Now there is the Relic Amulet for the Wizards deck. There's a Cinderclasm, but I don't really want to play it in red-white aggro. It doesn't really make any sense in that type of archetype. Could just take a random spare supplies or a Seagate Colossus for a party payoff. Yeah, I guess in an aggro deck we'll be mostly playing 2-mana creatures, so I don't really want to spare supplies to fill that role at 2. May just take a random Seagate Colossus, can be pretty solid for future party synergies. And yeah, we did have to pass up a couple of our first cards in our first pack, but I think I know what archetype we're going to be in, so take the Colossus now. I could just take the Fissure Wizard for party synergy. There's also late Vanquish the week, but yeah, I think we're going to be in red-white for the most part. This can just provide us a wizard that we might need for some party synergies, and the cards that reward us for the party synergies are obviously Squad Commander and the Seagate Colossus. So it seems like it's a correct pick over the Cliffhaven Sellsword, although I would be happy with the Sellsword in the deck. I think the wizard can provide us with some party synergies, which is more important. And I think I'm going to take a Cliffhaven Sellsword here. Wouldn't mind like a Scavenge Blade perhaps, but we're just going to stick with the red-white warriors plus party synergies. And also there's an Ardent Electromancer, which I also like as well, since it plays well with lots of 2-drop red creatures. You can play this on turn 3, and usually you do have 2 party members, so then you can play out like a 2-drop afterwards. Also a wizard for party synergy, so yep, definitely seems like red-white is open. More than red-black. There is a Fireblade Charger, but we currently don't have any weapons. And I don't think we're an Equipments deck. I think for now the Titterpeak Ambusher is fine. It plays well with the Sneaking Guide. Another Warrior we can play on 2 and has a relevant late-game mana sink. And then I'll take a Scavenge Blade now in case we need a weapon. Late Moss-Pit Skeleton. Green did not seem very open in this pack either, so sometimes in limited, that's what happens. You do have to just kind of abandon your first picks. There's a Tormenting Voice, but I think we're going to be an aggro deck, so Sizzling Barrage wouldn't be that bad in the deck. Usually, this card is unplayable outside of the hyper-aggressive decks, and red-white is pretty hyper-aggressive. So I'm glad to actually pick that up. So yeah, let's take the Sizzling Barrage here. We also don't have much interaction right now, so it's important to get removal spells while we can. Nothing here I care about. Just maybe whatever. None of those cards really matter. Late Blight Priest, okay. Although we did pick a bunch of Blight Priests, there just wasn't too many life gain enablers and too many other great payoffs in the white-red life gain deck. I think red-white is definitely very open from what I'm seeing, so I'm not regretting it. Currently we have 1 rogue, 1 warrior, 2 wizard. I mean, we have a bunch of warriors, 2 wizards. Let's see, how many? 6 warriors, 2 wizards, 1 rogue. Hopefully we can fit in a cleric in the deck. Maybe we can pick one of those protectors. Might even play double Sneaking Guy for the extra rogue. We'll see. Yeah, these cards suck. I could just take the random Farsight deck for more wizards in the deck. The best cards are like Mind Carver for Dimir, Tangle Florahedron for the green ramp deck, Relic Golem for blue-black, Feed the Swarm. Yeah, I could just take a random wizard. We should have enough warriors in red-white that I don't need to care too much. We're just going to take this for party synergy, and there's really nothing much I really want in this pack overall. But I think we're in the open archetype for sure. But overall, just abandoning like our first 3 picks wasn't great for us, but I'm still okay with it. Ooh, there's a Kiri. Okay, great sign that the Warriors deck is open. Although we only have 1 weapon, hopefully we can pick up 1 later. Yeah, it definitely seems really strong. As long as we get those weapons into play and we can equip one of our creatures and start attacking, we can leverage card draw, and then we can also unattach for 1 white to give them indestructible. Otherwise, if this wasn't a pack, I wouldn't mind taking a Seagate Banneret. There's also Canyon Jerboa, but I don't think we're really a landfall deck, although we do have a Tazim Raptor. I think 1 Tazim Raptor is fine. I think we're mostly focused on warriors and party. So Akiri is a great sign that the red-white aggro deck is really open. I'm happy that I kind of found the open lane and now kind of got rewarded here in the 3rd pack. Okay, could just take a random cleric like the Core Celebrant. Could just take another random Fissure Wizard. I mean, I'm not even a big fan of this in an aggro deck, but honestly, I don't need double Sneaking Guide. I don't think I need a second Tazim Raptor. And we currently have no clerics here in the deck. I could just fit 1 in, why not? Like, it could just be our 1 of cleric. Overall, not a very exciting pack. I don't think I'm ever going to play double Fissure Wizard. It's just not a great card. Just take the Core Celebrant in case we need a random wizard. I do like myself a Mary Captain, though, in a deck that's looking to play lots of party creatures. Okay. Also, Deadly Alliance pretty late. Cliffhaven Sellsword I also wouldn't mind, but this does reward us for more party members and just an excellent flying creature overall. So Okay, I don't mind the Kite Sail Cleric here. There's also Angel Heart Protector, but we have a bunch of 3s already. I think I'd rather just take the cheaper Cleric. It's funny to note that the Kite Sail Cleric is pretty bad in the Black-White Life Gain deck, even though it's a Cleric, but it actually plays very well in White-Red, given that you are trying to enable those party synergies. And although getting a full party is hard, we do have some amazing awards with it. The Squad Commander, American Captain, and Seagate Colossus, so I'm going to take the Kite Sail Cleric. It's a pretty decent in the aggro deck. 4 mana, 1/1 isn't great, but as long as you can tap down 2 creatures, it can be fine. So we'll take a Kite Sail Cleric. Don't think the Utility Knife is playable. I'd rather have the Scavenge Blade. Take a random Inordinate Charge in case we need a pump trick. I don't mind a Power Classic Hellion. Definitely a decent 5-drop. Great Curve Topper. Can bounce back our lands in the late game. Can deal a bit of damage. I'm a big fan of the Power Classic Hellion. I'll even play it even though we don't have too many synergies with it. We do have 2 clerics already. I don't think we need double core Celebrant, although we don't mind a cleric. I think the Scorch Rider can be fine, just have a decent 4-drop. Increase our warrior count. And then I already have 2 sneaking guides, so I don't mind just taking a Cliffhaven Kite Sail. Can play fine with Valkyrie because it also counts as an equipped creature, so I could actually main deck the Cliffhaven Kite Sail. Also gives us a bit of evasion for our creatures in the late game, so it does seem pretty nice for this deck. Okay, I'll take my second Teeter Peak Ambusher. Just gotta ensure the 2-drop department. Might just play 2 of them, like why not? Just to have a bit of early game, some warriors to drop early to synergize with deck. I might not even need the Farside Depth, although I don't mind having another cleric in the deck. In order to get a full party, it's not an amazing card for the deck. We're trying to be very aggressive here, so I could just ditch the core Celebrant. And we'll see how many lands we're going to be playing. We could just play 16 lands. Like for the most part, Seagate Colossus is mostly going to be like a turn 5 play most of the time. So I don't have to worry about our curve being too high. We have 3 4-drops, 2 5-drops at the very least, so we should be okay running away with 16 lands. So I could cut 1 land, and I might as well cut 2 more lands, given that Songman Treachery will mostly come in as a land. Same with the Shijiri Shelter, and then just 1 more cut pretty much from this deck. So this is mostly a 5-drop. I don't mind the 4s. Scorch Rider is amazing, but it is a 4-drop, and it beats down pretty hard. I actually don't mind the 3s. The Tazim Raptor has decent synergy, although we might not need it. It is another evasive threat, can bounce back our lands, but we do have a Power Classic Hellion that can do pretty much the same already, and our 3s are kind of stacked, so I might consider cutting the Tazim Raptor. We also have Cliffhaven Kite Sail to give our creatures flying already, so maybe not needing the flyer is important. We don't necessarily need the flyer. Practice Tactics seems decent. I don't mind the Sneaking Guide as a rogue and a way to leverage our Teeter Peak Ambushers in the late game. Kite Sail Cleric is going to be our only cleric, but that's fine. It's fine in the aggro deck too, just being able to tap things down. I actually don't mind the Cliffhaven Kite Sail if we're going to cut the Tazim Raptor. Can be pretty decent with our with the Akiri, as not only an equipment, but a way to go over the top and attack through the air if the game enters into a board stall. And usually board stalls are what can ruin an aggro deck. So if you find yourself in a board stall situation in an aggro deck, it's not a good sign. Since aggro creatures tend to be quite small, and you're looking to be very aggressive early on, if you end up in a weird board stall where you're forced to kind of just trade off your creatures for the most part, and you don't have any other alternate win condition, you can just lose the game. So I actually don't mind the Cliffhaven Kite Sail and the Scavenge Blade in the deck with Akiri, and just having 2 weapons is really nice for Akiri. Inordinate Rage I also don't mind as a decent pump trick. Like, how much removal do we have? 1, 2, to lesser extent 3, 4. 4 removal spells. Could use the extra Inordinate Rage as for potentially a pump trick. Looking at the sideboard, again, I don't think I need second Scorch Rider. I could consider a Tormenting Voice in this deck. Like, it's not actually bad. Like, the cards, like, I could consider cutting the Inordinate Rage or maybe Sizzling Barrage for it. Overall, I don't think we can cut any creatures from this deck since we're trying to get as many 2-drops down early, be very aggressive, pressure the opponent. The Tormenting Voice can be a fine late game card if I'm looking to maybe discard a land and draw 2 in case we end up flooding, but how many mana sinks do we have? This can be kicked on 6, which I don't mind. This can be a bit of a mana sink for 1 white, although that's not a lot. Double Teeter Peak Ambusher is a mana sink. I guess Sneaking Guide is a menacing, same with Cliffhaven Kitesail. We can move the Kitesail around as well. I mean, sorry, Kitesail Cleric. And also Scavenge Blade, so maybe we don't need the Tormenting Voice. Do we need a second Sneaking Guide? So we have one rogue, 11 warriors, 3 wizards, 1 cleric. So for the most part, we won't be able to assemble a full party, but that's fine. The squad commander just making a bunch of 1/1s is still decent. I don't really think we need double sneaking guide. It only plays well with, I guess, the 2 Teeter Peak ambushers. I mean, we do have a decent amount of 2 powered creatures anyways in the early game, but I don't think we need 2 sneaking guys. It's just not an amazing blocker and attacker. I don't think we're trying to leverage life gain for the core Celebrant, even though it's a cleric for the deck. So I don't mind running 1 rogue and 1 cleric here. Like, we're not going all in with the whole party thing. Like, even just having 2 party members out is fine. The squad commander can have decent value. Merit Captain will be a nice evasive threat anyways. Seagate Colossus is a nice beater. So we'll mostly have like at least a warrior and a wizard out on the battlefield, and that can be fine. Yeah, so I don't mind this deck. I don't like Sizzling Barrage or Inordinate Rage that much, but honestly, we don't really have that much great removal, so we might have to use these as tools to kind of pave a way through. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, these are mostly our spot removals. I mean, both of these removal spells are kind of conditional. Inordinate Rage I actually don't mind, I guess, in case we need to get in 1 extra damage, but Sizzling Barrage is definitely a consideration that we could cut. I gotta also keep in mind we have Songman, Treachery to maybe close out the game. Sujiri Shelter won't be played more often than not because we're gonna be an aggro deck that's not looking to protect ourselves too much. Yeah, Sizzling Barrage just doesn't look great. I could see the Inordinate Rage being pretty effective in this type of deck. Overall, yeah, again, we're not playing Core Celebrant because it's just not an aggressive creature. It's a cleric for party synergies, but I don't think we're trying to gain life in this deck. Tazim Raptor, we already have the Cliffhaven Kitesail. I don't really care about bouncing any of these lands. We also don't have any landfall payoffs. Don't think I need a second Sneaking Guide because we have a lot of 3 powered creatures in the deck, and it's only going to be used for a very few amount of creatures anyways. So I could see myself throwing in a Tormenting Voice in this deck, cutting the Sizzling Barrage. The Sizzling Barrage is a removal spell, but it's not very good since the opponent has to block with it in the first place. So it doesn't seem that great. The Tormenting Voice could be useful in case we need to kind of ditch lands in the late game and draw 2 cards out of it. And it's fine always having 1 copy in an aggro deck. Sometimes even with 16 lands in a deck, you could end up flooding, and that does happen sometimes in limited. So let's try this deck out. Seems fine. And picture, yep, Akiri will be our mascot. Yeah, let's try this out. I could also consider claiming a Tormenting Voice for Sizzling Barrage if I want to as well. But yeah, I guess we should be able to. Maybe just the card draw might be more important, but I could be wrong. I mean, I think the game plan is just to curve out and kill the opponent, so maybe we don't need a Tormenting Voice. Like, I can expect myself to lose anyways if I don't kill the opponent fast enough. And Tormenting Voice is not really useful in the early game. So sorry, I think I have to cut maybe the Tormenting Voice, because we're kind of an all-in deck with a decent amount of late game, not too much amazing late game for the most part. So I think we can kind of just ditch the... I mean, but Sizzling Barrage just sucks anyways, right? Yeah, Sizzling Barrage sucks. Never mind, let's just keep playing this. Keep it as it is. But I can actually see this deck using Sizzling Barrage. But I mean, of course, they need to block it first. It's not great to have a removal spell that you can't use if the opponent is on the offense. So in case we still end up flooding in a 16-land deck, the Tormenting Voice isn't that bad. Okay, so what do we have here? Opening hand. No red mana. We're on the draw. I don't think we're keeping this. Yeah, we do have Nahiri's Binding on 3, but we're going to be an aggro deck, so I don't really want a hand like this. This mulligan. And this seems better. We'll keep. Could just ditch the mountain. Like, eventually we can... I think we might need this Curve Topper to help close out the game. I mean, might need land 3 for Expedition Champion, but we have 2 extra draw steps. I mean, yeah, maybe we just do cut the Sea Gates. It's a little bit risky. Yeah, let's ditch a Sea Gate. We should have more win conditions in the late game. And I'll play out the Kite Sail because we have this on turn 4. We want the extra Cleric for party synergies. And now Tormenting Voice actually seems better in a hand like this. Ooh, we even have Hellion as a 5-drop, so glad that I actually cut the Colossus, which is going to mostly be a 5-drop anyways. Nothing I need to play around with double white here. He doesn't have a creature, so don't need to play around practice tactics. Hopefully I can get a land drop for turn 4. Squad Commander. Okay, this makes it much easier for me to get a land drop since I will be able to... Okay. Champion seems fine. I'm fine taking 3, and then I can play either the Squad Commander or Clayfaming Sellsword, whether or not I draw a land or not. Fine taking 3. I'm fine trading this 2 if he decides to stay back. But if he's not, then that's also a clear sign because we are the aggro deck that's mostly going to outrace a blue-white deck unless he has a million life gain cards. Don't really like the Expedition Healer seeing that. Okay, so do I just Tormenting Voice here? I don't hate it, just ditch the Wizard. I mean, I could just play the Wizard and hopefully get a land drop and ditch Tormenting Voice itself. Yeah, that seems better. I might need the extra party member. Let's just do that. Yeah, let's just ditch the Tormenting Voice and we got a land off the top, which is excellent. Yeah, I'll attack with both. Why not? If he attacks with a 2-2, I might just throw the 2-1 in front of it, so he doesn't gain any future life gain. And I mean, I could just throw the 3-1 in front of it, so I can make more 1-1s with the Squad Commander. I'm hoping he doesn't find a Cleric off the top here. Opponent passes a turn, so that might imply something. So how many party members do I have? 1, 2, 3 party members, so I can, if I play out the Ardent Electromancer, I can still have enough mana to play out the Squad Commander, so I think I'll try that. Of course, he could respond to this. And we'll do everything main phase in case he ambushes us here. I think I just need an extra rogue to get a full party, so... I mean, it could just swing the team anyways, like, who cares? Yeah, let's just go for it. I don't think I need to get a full party. I only have 1 rogue in the deck, I might as well just swing out. He can put the 3-3 in front of the 4-3 and the 2-2 in front of the 3-1. We can still get in for 3. And we still have some backup creatures here too, so... We're in decent shape. We have a removal spell lined up, as well as a Hellion that can deal a bit of face damage, so just want to get as much damage in as much as possible. I guess he's going for the value block here, which is fine, but he's still going to take 5 unless he has a bounce spell. Alright, that's still fine. He takes 4. He loses a creature. We still have a bunch of stuff on the battlefield, so we're still in great shape, and he might just pass the turn doing absolutely nothing. I think the opponent might have forgotten to do something at instant speed here, like... Oh, yeah, he could have killed my 3-2. Okay. Alright, I could Binding this. Alternatively, I could just attack with all, play the Scorch Rider. Yeah, let's just attack with all. I mean, he could do something with my warrior. I guess I have my warrior tokens anyways. Let's say that Nahiri's Binding for something else. I'm fine just swinging out and then playing out the Scorch Rider here. But he's just going to take lethal, so... Alright, interesting how players would pass the turn without playing anything and keeping up their mana. I think the opponent could have killed my 3-2, but overall I think I was still in good shape in that matchup. Okay, don't mind just playing the Cleric on turn 1, Sellsword on 2. Yeah, let's keep this, and then we have a Songmat Treachery lined up on turn 5 if we want to deal the final points of damage. Just gonna get the Cell Cleric out early. I know I can use this as a tap effect, but in case we pick up any party synergies, I just want to get this down. I think I might consider the Fissure Wizard later. Let's just get in for 1. I don't mind just playing out the Sellsword because it can just deal a lot of damage. Then we can play this next turn. Maybe we can even ditch the land and get greedy. Stonework Pack Beast. Okay, that's going to put a halt to our progress. I could just use the Shelter and get rid of this if he decides to block. Yeah, I don't mind that. Let's just attack with both. Use a Shelter. Actually, I can't, so I might as well use a Rage, I guess. Yeah, we'll just use a Rage then. Scorch Rider, do I care about that? I mean, I guess I'll have land 4 next turn, so I might as well keep it. And which one do I prefer to have out? I guess the Shelter can come in tap because I don't really need to protect my creatures. Okay, so we could see the Flash Ambush guy here. I don't think I play around it. I think we just need to attack. Yeah, the one that gives -1/1. So okay, that's fine. Sure. We can get in for 1. Then we can play out the Scorch Rider. So we don't have any clipping. I guess our weapons are gone, so Kiri's kind of useless in this matchup now. Could see like a Bubble Snare, okay. Opponent's playing defense quite well. I can ditch away this mountain, even though I might need land 5 for Songmat Treachery. I think this Treachery might just come in more useful later on, and we even have a Teeter Peak Ambusher as well, so... Dreadworm we can steal. So if I play the Arden Electromancer as a Cleric, Warrior, and Wizard, so I can generate 3 mana, so is that enough? I guess I can only still pump the Teeter Peak Ambusher once. I guess I can Songmat Treachery. Yeah, let's just Songmat. No, it only comes in tapped. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. I could just attack with all to get in for 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Lose the Ambusher. Nah, let's just move the attacks. I think we're better off maybe stealing that next turn and getting in. I'm hoping he attacks here. There's no way I'm blocking this, no way. So I'm quite happy with this result. So now if I top deck a land, I can steal his creature and just alpha him and put him on defense the turn after. Another Dreadworm, okay. Okay, land is good, so now I might as well steal it and get in. And this might just cost the game. Wow, that's just lethal, jeez. I think the opponent should have been a little bit careful there attacking the 5/4, especially against an aggro deck. Because he was hoping there was no way I could kill the 5/4, but turns out I had the answer. Okay, I mean, we do have this on 2, and with an extra land we can drop Expedition Champion or Ardent. I don't mind just keeping this. We'll always just play this as a tap land, turn 1. Hopefully we can leave with a Cliff-Having Sellsword, and then we can top deck a land. Okay, third land is active, so seems good. We can eventually discard another land with to the Tormenting Voice. I could actually kill that. So what I could try here is I could just play land. I could play the Expedition Champion and trade. Alternatively, I can play the Electromancer, just kill the 2/2 and get in for 3. Maybe that's correct. It's kind of an all-in play, but I think we do it because, again, we're just an aggro deck that's trying to get in as much damage as possible. And this can eventually gain lifelink, which we don't want. Okay, let's just attack with both. I'm fine with the trade. Expedition Champion can come down. Gloom Hunter is going to hold off the 3/1. Alright, that's fine. I can just play out the Scorch Rider. And we have 2 BP ground creatures attacking. The Gloom Hunter is going to hold off the 3/1, but we're still fine. Okay, the opponent just concedes. So yeah, I did state that red is the worst color in this set, but sometimes you can just steal games against even the top tier archetypes, black-white life gain. So I'm quite impressed that I managed to even get to 3-0 with this type of deck, because I was pretty sure that, you know, against like blue-black control and white-black life gain, I would definitely have the disadvantage, but we still managed to get there, so let's keep playing. Okay, we can play this tapped. I mean, we can just play the Fissure Wizard, maybe ditch the Hellion. Seems okay. Or might just ditch something else, because the Hellion can get back to Sawmad Ruins. I mean, I don't mind. Yeah, let's be greedy here. Let's just ditch the land, and hopefully we can get our land 4 going, because I think it might be too risky here, just throwing away our Power Classic Hellion, which can get back our nice 5-drop. Okay, and I might just get punished here. Let's just play out the Ambusher and pass. Want to keep my party member around for the potential Emeria Captain or Squad Captain making a bunch of stuff. And I think I would leave the Squad Commander first in case he has a removal spell for the Emeria Captain. He can gain life with this, so I could just end up trading. If he decides to attack, I might trade. Okay, so nope. Okay, I guess this isn't a bad card either, so we'll just play the Arn Electromancer and then pass. So kind of getting, not getting rewarded for discarding that land, but it was a risk I was willing to take. So opponent's in 3 colors. He has plenty of ample life gain. So we might need to find some. So we might need to preserve this Emeria Captain, or at least find a rogue for the Squad Commander. I guess we need a Cleric in the deck too, so that's not looking good for us. Land is good. So do I play the Squad Commander first and take 3, or do I play the Emeria Captain? I guess I'll play the Squad Commander, because there's a chance he could use a removal spell on the 3/3 instead, and I'd rather have that happening. Yep, just say go. Take 3, and then maybe we can just Emeria Captain next turn. I'm hoping he kills the squad commander, so then this can start blocking the 3-3, and this will become a 4-4, I think. One... Again, no, it's only going to become a 3-3, never mind. So opponent has a lot of life gain going, and party and life gain for the most part, so he probably has the Dream Spoils of Adventures deck. So maybe I could just play the Mirror Captain and hope to trade for the 3-3. And maybe I can eventually find, like... Okay, that's interesting. Do I just wait for one more party member, like a rogue or a cleric for the Mirror Captain? Like, I could do that and still take 3, and then next turn I can just attack with the Seagate Colossus. Alright, sure. I don't mind just attacking with this and having him throw everything in front of it. There's the spoils. Okay, this is going to be a pretty hard matchup to win. Opponent has a lot of life gain, good party synergies. Ooh, the binding's quite nice, so I could just binding the 3-3 here. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. And then I can swing in with the 7-5 and force him to throw creatures in front of it. Okay, and we'll just pass. If we can find the Kite Silver Seagate Colossus, that can definitely steal the game, hopefully. Surprised that the opponent cast the spoils, but still didn't play out any land drops, so that's quite interesting to note. I'm hoping he just kills Squad Commander here, or the 7-5, so then my Mirror Captain can start flying through. Any 1-drop Cleric or Rogue would be great here, since not only can it leverage the Titterpeak Ambusher, but my Mirror Captain can also grow larger. Okay, there's a Sellsword. I could just give it one more turn, play out the Hellion, or I can just play out the Mirror Captain now. Yeah, we'll just play out the Mirror Captain now. I mean, it's another win condition. We can start clocking for 3 in the air. It's a little bit greedy going for the extra Rogue or Cleric, since it might even be at the bottom of our library. And now this gives another target he needs to deal with right away. Okay. Alright, so that's just going to blank our 3-3, so now a good sign. Right, and there's our sneaking guy when we needed it. Okay. I guess I can just play out this, play out Sneaking Guide, and then hopefully I can get a full party going. Maybe if I top deck my Cleric, I can get a full party to give everything indestructible and just go for an Alpha Strike. Okay, Smart Mage is going to maybe take out the 3-3. Okay, Squad Commander, so this could just be pretty much game over here, since we don't have the Squad Captain to leverage our indestructible. The 5-5 has Vigilance, so we can't attack past it. So yeah, I think the opponent has all his bases covered, pretty much. Let's see what we can draw. There's a Vanguard. Honestly, don't think we're beating this, so yeah, just good games. I mean, maybe I can find another removal spell off the top. Nah, I don't think we can beat this. I would need to get it off the top the next turn, and I don't think I have anything that can deal 5 damage to this besides like a Kicked Royal Eruption. That's too bad. I mean, the opponent his deck was definitely a favorite against ours. This one, there's not much you can do against Spoils Adventures, and then like double Mirror Captain, and then a bunch of life gain creatures that can halt your aggro plans. So that's a weakness of red in this set, and aggro in general, just not being able to there's just so many answers to them. So sometimes the only way out is just to steal the games and cheese the opponent out. Alright, 2-3 seems good. And then we do have access to a nice practice tactics for 4. If they don't answer our creatures, we can eventually just cast a Hellion on 5. Ooh, Sneaking Guy would have been amazing on 1. But we just had to top deck it, so we'll probably deploy it later. Another blue-white party deck, okay. Sure. I can still block off the 2-1 with it, so... I mean, I still have a 3-3 that can attack past it, so I might as well just attack here. And then get in for 1, and then play out the Farsight Adept next turn. Which, you know, it is a symmetrical effect, but it does allow making our land drops easier by drawing the extra card. And next turn we can even play like Tormenting Voicing the Plains, or just play out the Sneaking Guide. Might do the Tormenting Voice. It does dig our deck a little bit deeper, and then we're able to get a Sneaking Guide if we get a red off the top. So I actually don't hate the idea of doing that. Kitesail Clerics, nothing too spectacular. Okay, I could Tormenting Voice here. Alternatively, I can just play Cliff-Living Kitesail into Sneaking Guide. I could just attack with both, and if he decides to double block, I can use Practice Tactics to kind of blow him out. I don't mind using Practice Tactics here. Let's just move to combat. If he takes it, that's fine as well. Yep. Yeah, I could just Tormenting Voice here. Or not. Yeah, it's Tormenting Voice. Let's take it easy here. And we got punished and not hit a land drop, so kind of bad for us actually. So okay, hopefully we can get a land off the top next turn. Captain's a bit annoying, so that's gonna be pretty difficult for me to deal with. Can Kitesail? I guess I'm just gonna move the tax here. Why not? Might as well. The Ambusher will be able to hold up the 2-1s quite nicely, so I don't hate it. Just playing it out. Yep, kind of got punished for discarding the plane, so maybe I should just hold on to the card. So here now, what can we do? I can leverage the Cliffhaven Kitesail. I think I'm gonna play out land for sure. Then what I can do is I can play out Sneaking Guide, the Sellsword, and I can play out the Cliffhaven Kitesail. I guess I don't mind attaching to the Farsight Adept. I'm not going to block the 3-2 if he attacks with it, but it can attack past the 1-1 at least. Okay, so he might pump the 3-1 here. It pumps itself. Pretty interesting to note. So I can give this evasion and pump and get in. Alternatively, attacking the 3-1 can be okay. I guess I don't mind just playing out Hellion here. Get the land back, deal 2 to his face, and we'll stay back. Eventually I can just give this evasion, pump, and attack. Journey. Hellion, okay, I'm fine with that. Yeah, let's leverage the evasion with the Titterpeak Ambusher here. And I could just move this around. No, let's just move to combat. Pass priority. And yeah, let's just pump here. Could have a pump trick here. That's why he's keeping up all his mana. Okay, no. So Yep, we're in decent shape. We have good ground blockers. Celebrant will gain some life, though. Just gonna keep playing out my lands. Yeah. We'll just keep trying this. I can also just equip the Scavenge Blade to it. And I can just move the blade around for 3 anyways. So yeah, I might as well just get out on the battlefield. It's not a bad idea. And we can still attack in for 3. And we can also just move the Kite Sail around if we want to. Okay. Fortunately, that wasn't kicked, so he doesn't get to draw a card off of this. Another journey. Okay, so he's going to try to race us in the air now. Makes sense. I'll be taking a lot of damage here. Yeah, I don't mind just blocking. Roll Eruption isn't bad. I mean, a kicked Roll Eruption will maybe kill him next turn, so I could just consider, yeah, granting evasion to the Titterpeak Ambusher. Equipping the... I mean, it costs 3 to equip. So I might as well pump, right? Yeah. And then I guess I can equip this onto... yeah, let's just equip this onto the Ambusher, maybe. But we're fine still taking 3 in the air. And then I guess what we can do is we can pump this once and then Roll Eruption and kill him. So he gains 2 life up to 7 here. We can take 3 on the way back. Like, we should be able to kill him, I think. So, how much mana is this? So I can... Okay, good news, he's staying back. So what we can do is we can play land. Leverage evasion for the Titterpeak Ambusher. Move to combat. Attack. Pump. And how much damage is this? 3. So it's not enough for Roll Eruption, but I can pump twice and get him down. So I can Roll Eruption, kick next turn and kill him. And we should be able to survive with this on defense. Okay, so he's gonna Alpha Strike. Alright, that's unfortunate. Wish you didn't top deck that, but it is what it is. Could have had the Roll Eruption to finish him off, but... I mean, I guess if he didn't have the Core Celebrants, maybe we would have won this, but... That's quite unfortunate. Oh well. Still 3 and 2, not bad. As long as we get one more win, we can get up to 1.4k gems. So you can't win them all. The opponent had McKinney Stampede. It is what happens sometimes in Magic. That's why it's called Magic. Because things just happen. Alright, opening hand. We can play this on 1, play this on 2. Alright, I don't mind just discarding the Power Classic Hellion. We'll keep this. And then the Scavenge Blade with the Kite Sail Cleric can be a nice combo. Or I can just play the Scavenge Blade next turn anyways, and I hopefully hit my land 3 for the Expedition Champion. But I mean, just being able to get in for 3 per turn can be quite interesting. Or I can just play out the Fata Vanguard. Yeah, just play the Fissure Wizard. Maybe we can discard the Power Classic Hellion, make it more easier to hit our land drops, and 5-drop is a lot, so kind of try to make it much easier for us to get our land drop going. That's a pretty annoying card, okay. Yeah, I guess we play the 3-drop here and pass. Just want to develop the board. I could have started with the Scavenge Blade and started attacking for 2, but I think getting the land drop was more important. He can mill us here for 2. I think he should be attacking with this. I don't know what's going on. We could probably see a Vanquish the week here. But for sure, let's just play out the Vanguard. And now I guess we can attack with a 4-5. And even if he vanquishes the Vanguard, we should be okay. Okay, that's fine. The Vanguard can still make something unable to block the more warriors we play, like this Expedition Stalker. The Blood Priest is going to drain us though, so that's pretty annoying. And now he can also mill us too and start growing his rogues. Opponent's playing it really safe. Yeah, we're just not getting our stuff going, so I actually don't mind playing Sneaking Guide here. Playing out the Cell Sword. I could attack with all. Make the Soaring Thought Thief unable to block. He trades for the Vanguard. I mean, I do need to get in for damage, right? Yeah, let's just get in. The Blood Priest is probably going to go in front of 2/2 because he wants to preserve his rogue, I'm assuming. I actually don't mind a trade like this. This is actually pretty good for me. That way I can clear his board and I also have a nice good ground attackers. Also losing 3 life here isn't great for him. Ooh, the Colossus is nice. Could just offer to trade with the 3/1. And see if I want to play out the Ambusher. I can also just play the Scavenge Blade, but if I lose my Cleric, it's going to be a little bit rougher. So yeah, let's just get in for the 3/1 with the 3/1. And I'm fine with a trade here if he wants to. Wow, this opponent doesn't mind trading off his quality creatures, which I'm totally down for if he wants to do that. So now we have an Air Force here. The 1/1 can start getting through. Opponent's playing very conservatively. Quite impressed. I guess he has a way to get back his creatures. Maybe like Thwarted Brave or Bloodbecken here. Okay, Bloodbecken, but he's using up his whole turn. Okay, land is good. Now we can play the Seagate Colossus. Could also just attack with the Titterpeak Ambusher as well, since even if he blocks, we can pump and kill. Yeah, let's try that. I don't hate it. He's probably going to play out the Expedition Skulker. Just to hold off the 7/5. And we can give the 1/1 evasion and or the Titterpeak Ambusher evasion. And then just swing out. Ooh, Practice Tactics is nice. That can deal with the 2/2. So I don't hate using a Scavenge Blade here. Equipping to the Kite Sail Cleric. And I can Practice Tactics away the 2/2 if I want to. Yeah, let's just get in. So now the 7/5 can start chipping in. His creatures are getting larger, but that's okay. The Sneaking Guy can leverage the Titterpeak Ambusher with evasion, and then we can pump it once we get a land to get in for 3. The 7/5 is also pretty difficult for him to deal with as well. So hopefully no more Death Touch creatures. Opponent does seem to have a very strong deck though, like with Blood Beckonings, Skulker, Feed the Swarm, Glacial Grasp. I think he has a right Dimir deck. Okay, so now what we can do is we can play land, give evasion to the Titterpeak Ambusher, move the combat, swing the team, and then I can pump the Titterpeak Ambusher. You could have anything here. Vanquish, okay. You can double block the 7/5, I don't care. Well, he's chumping, so I'm totally down for that as well. Okay. So just need to find a 2-power creature to grant evasion to. But yeah, opponent's playing very conservatively, just throwing his creatures. I guess he's afraid of aggro. Okay, I might as well just play the squad commander. I think I'm just going to attack with a 7/5 because he could have the 1/1 flash creature. That can give -1, -0 and kill the Sneaking Guide, and the Sneaking Guide could be pretty important. Could see a Deadly Alliance here. Okay, no. I think he had it, but he's just like banking that I'd attack with the Sneaking Guide, but... Oh, Zeref. Okay, yeah, I definitely need to block Zeref if he attacks with it, because, yeah, Zeref can definitely just steal the game. So next turn I can grant 1 to 1/1's evasion, equip the Scavenge Blade onto it, and attack for 3, as well the Stiegate Colossus, keep the 3/3 and the 1/1 back. Because if Zeref manages to connect, we're going to be in trouble. Blood Price, wow, that's even better. So now he needs a way to lock down the Seagate Colossus and the 1/1. I could just Alpha Strike. Let's say he does block the 3/3, or I just hope he taps out here. Yeah, Blood Price is a little bit crazy, I think. Wow, he just concedes. Well, that's pretty interesting. The opponents seem to have the broken, busted Dimir deck for some reason, and we still managed to win that one. I don't know how that actually happens. He was definitely playing very defensively for the most part, which isn't wrong, but just throwing away his Soaring Thought Thief like that I don't think was a good choice. I would definitely trade my 2-drop for a the Soaring Thought Thief any day, any 2-drop. So I guess he was really afraid of aggro. Right, we got up to 4 wins, just 1 more win, we can get back all of our gems. Pretty solid deck. I think this would be a tier 2 deck, or like a B minus or B graded deck, not like A or A plus or S or anything. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Opening hands. We can play this tapped, or yeah, well, I guess we'll play the Shelter tap because it's white, and we want to maybe play the Farsight Adept on 3. And we're also on the draw, so it's highly likely that we could get our third land drop to deploy the Ardent Veil, the Ardent Electromancer, or the Farsight Adept. So we might just keep the Songman Treachery in our hands, we'll see. Okay, I guess we have land 3 cover now. Although, no, not really. These still come in tapped, so yeah, I think I need to play the Shijiri Shelter tapped. I can't risk, I can't gamble on whether or not I get another Plains or not, so I have to play the Shijiri Shelter. It's also a bit of a slow card, not a card that I really want in my to use early. The Songman Treachery can be a nice finisher. And then we can curve out like Titterpeak Ambusher into like Farsight Adept into maybe Electromancer, we'll see. Hey, we can Electromancer into Royal Eruption next turn if we need to. We'll see. I don't mind Rolling Eruption that way. That's a pretty scary card. Alternatively, I could Farsight Adept, but I think it's more mana efficient to just do it now. And this is just a powerful tempo play. Okay, Skitter Sneak, I can Binding. Yeah, I don't hate that. Yeah, let's Binding and get in for 4. I think it's worth it. Okay, I think I'm ditching the Titter Peak. I could also ditch the Farsight Depth, but I might need the extra creature. Yeah, I guess we're ditching Songman because we need double red for it anyway, so it's not a good option. I'll play Alta Scorch Rider though. Get them for 4 still. Mind Drain is typically not a card you really want to play in black green. Since you don't really care about graveyard synergies, let's just attack. Just let damage happen. Deadly Alliance, so I can pump and get in for 6, or I can just let damage happen. I'll let damage happen. And then play out the Akiri. Mucklord, okay, I can still attack with the 3-3 and the 1-3. Don't really want to attack with a 2-2, so let's move to combat. Yeah, let's just attack with both of these. This way, he doesn't, even if he puts a counter on something, it's still locked down, so the Mucklord doesn't do much except chump. And we got him for 3, which is nice. Gloom Hunter, okay. So now what? So, I guess he's forced to chump, otherwise it's lethal. He can trade off for the 3-2. So I guess we just move the attacks here. Interesting. I think he's dead if he decides to block like that, so he has to trade for the 3-2 here and chump. Yeah. Don't think I need a pump. I could pump, but nah, I'd rather not. Just deploy more pressure. And not gonna play the Farsight Depth because I don't really want him drawing an extra card. Yep. I probably forgot to check the mana base of this deck as well, but I think it's about even split if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna double check just in case I messed up. Okay, 20 gems, so that's a clear indication that I have the whole entire collection. And let's see, yeah, 14 lands, and then we have the Shelter and the Songmat Treachery, and then yeah, it seems about right keeping it even split. Okay, let's keep playing. Okay, no lands, only one, so this is not keepable. Okay, we have 2 lands and a Songmat Runes we can play tapped. I guess we're keeping this. And since, do we keep the Seagate Colossus? I mean, I don't really want the Tormenting Voice either way, like... yeah, I don't need a Tormenting Voice. This can be a nice ground beater in the late game. Let's try it. Killer Peak Ambusher on 2 seems decent. And then we can like curve out into the Seagate Colossus. Could see a counterspell. No counterspell, okay. So blue-red wizards, let's move to combat. See what he has here. Okay. I mean, I don't really care if he gives us my neg 2 neg og. I can still pump it and kill the 1/1 if he decides to block with it. I guess not. Okay. Just wanted to prevent 1 damage. Now Kiri would have been great, but he milled it, so this weapon is not gonna be that amazing this game, but still gonna provide a decent stat upgrade. So I don't mind just roll eruptioning that away. I could use practice tactics instead for 4. I mean, that could just be better. I mean, it's a worse removal spell as well, so I could just do this. Attack with both and use practice tactics. And then if he double blocks, I can blow him out with the practice tactics. Okay. I mean, I can still blow him out here. I'm hoping he double blocks. Annoying duelist. Luckily they aren't good blockers, so... Falconer is annoying, okay. Wish I can use a kicked roll eruption on that, but I guess we just need to settle for a Seagate Colossus. In the meantime, say go. Could see like a Glacial Grasp on the Seagate Colossus. A Coom Warrior, okay. Alright, I guess I don't mind attacking the 3/3 and the 7/5 since I can pump it. And this is still a lot of damage. I could pump. What happens if I pump? He's going to be down to, this is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So if I pump, next turn I could just roll Eruption and maybe kill him. So I think I'm going to pump here. And then I guess I don't mind just playing out the Sneaking Guide, and then hopefully I can get in some extra damage and kill him from there. It's a little bit annoying with the Scavenge Blade because okay, so now I can't give anything evasion. He might just keep the 1/1 back as a chump blocker. He should be attacking the Akuma Warrior, but he's not, so... Okay, we just need a kicked roll eruption to beat the game. I could just keep everyone back, like... Yeah, I could just keep everyone back. Let's just equip the weapon onto Sneaking Guide. I mean, I could still attack with a 7/5. Yeah, I don't mind just attacking the 7/5. Like, he could double block, which I don't mind. Kill the Akuma Warrior, and then maybe we can clear a path. Yep. Akuma Warrior goes first, of course. Nice 2-for-1. Don't think I care about that. So what I can do is now I can leverage the Sneaking Guide, give the 2/3 evasion, equip the Blade and attack, or I can just attack him for 2 and roll eruption him in the face. Okay, or I can just kick the roll eruption. Yeah, let's just kick it. Hopefully there's no negate. Alright, we got him. Alright, just one more victory, we'll be able to get to 7 wins. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of how this deck has managed to get to 7. It's not an amazing deck, it's a fine, like a B grade deck. Definitely not an A+ or an A deck. There's definitely some issues with this, and I think red-white could just be the weakest archetype in this entire set, given how underpowered red is, kind of, and how white creatures just tend to be small, and there's a lot of life gain and removal. So I'm actually quite impressed with this. So hopefully we can just nail this final boss, and we can just do a quick overview and crack some packs. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the result. Deck definitely overperformed. Okay, so what I can do is I can play the Song Mad Runes tapped, and then Cliffhaven Sellsword and go from there. It seems decent, and we also have a Cliffhaven Kite Sail that can turn all of our aggressive creatures into win conditions, which is great. And I can even like Ardent Electromancer into Inordinate Rage if I want to. Okay, this is pretty interesting. So I could trade this off. I mean, the Squad Commander is a warrior, and I could just play the Ardent Electromancer anyways next turn, and use the 1 mana for the Cliffhaven Kite Sail. So this is not bad. I have a warrior to follow up anyway, so the trade isn't bad. And I think the Bug Hatch is scary enough that I don't mind just throwing it away. Now there's a Titterpeak Ambusher that could block this, but I'd rather just play the Electromancer, I think, and equip. Alternatively, I could just Titterpeak Ambusher and equip. Now let's just do this. Land would be nice so I can play the Squad Commander. But I'll happily take 2 here, it's not the end of the world. The Bugcatcher can be very scary with the whole party thing going on. Okay, no lands. I could play this tapped. This is interesting. I mean, I think I need to play this tapped. And do I just trade a Titterpeak Ambusher for the 3/1? I guess I don't hate that. And I can attack with the 3/2. If he kills my 1/3, I can just take 5, I guess, and I'll be fine still, I think. Because I don't really want to, okay, that's annoying. Please no land, and he does have a land. Okay, so kind of regretting it now. Okay, Fissure Wizard. Well, we do have a wizard already, so I guess we just play the Squad Commander. Opponent will pump his whole team. I guess we should be alright still. This is going to attack for 4. I can still put the 3/3 in front of it and put some creatures in front of the 3/1, so it seems fine. I do want to kind of race him a bit, so don't mind just playing it. I guess this is the correct block. He could blow me out here, but I'm not risking it. Yeah, he could have like practice tactics, synchronize. Okay, so the trample will go over, but at least I won't be taking 4. Ooh, a Marriott Captain seems solid. Alternatively, I can Fissure Wizard on defense, but the Captain seems pretty solid here. Guess I don't mind just staying back since the 3/2 can hold off the 1/2. Guess this has Indestructible. I could still chump it though. Probably not going to chump it though. I could. He could have a Royal Eruption to beat me here. It's not great. I think I might have to do this. Yeah, we'll chump. Sneaking Guide into Fissure Wizard. Okay, I guess I can attack for 3 or 6 if I want to be greedy. Guess I'll play the Fissure Wizard, discard a Sneaking Guide perhaps, and then keep up the Inordinate Rage to maybe play defense. And then we'll attack for 3. Say go. Guess I could use the Merit Captain and try to pump it. Okay, Vanguard doesn't seem that great. I think I'll bomb it. Alright, we managed to stabilize against this, so that's good. And now the Seagate Colossus can help me close out the game. Don't mind just attacking with both here. And then once I give this flying, it's game over. Alright, we managed to get 7 and 2. Pretty scary opponent to face against, but we managed to play defense with our aggro deck, and that's what you have to do against. When it's aggro versus aggro, you try to either outrace the opponent or play a controlling game plan against them. And yeah, we even played around Whirl Eruption pretty well by putting the 1-3 in front of the 3-2. But I don't think he had it because I think he would use it on the Merit Captain if he would have used it. But it's still always fine to play it safe. All right, 7 and 1. I'm gonna make sure I do a deck overview of this. Alright, so what is this? This is a 16 land Boros aggro deck. 14 lands plus the Shijiri Shelter and the whatchamacallit, the Songmat Treachery. In terms of curve toppers, which you usually don't want a lot of in an aggro deck, we have plenty few of them. We do have the Power Classic Hellion, Seagate Colossus, and to a lesser extent Merit Captain and Squad Commander. And then most of our curve is just pretty low, 2 1-drops, and then a bunch of 2s and 3-drops. In terms of removal, Practice Tactics, Whirl Eruption, Inordinate Rage. Mostly going to be a pump trick, but we did use it as a removal spell in the last game, but it's not very very consistent. But I'm still playing it over the rest of the other sideboard cards. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We also sided in a Tormenting Voice in case we ended up flooding, and even that could happen in a 16-line deck. But I could see the argument of still playing the Sizzling Barrage in a red-white Boros aggro deck, since I think red-white and red-green are the most aggressive archetypes that are trying to do that. The Sizzling Barrage can be really decent for, but again, if we are in the back foot and we need a removal spell that can be used if the opponent decides to attack, it's kind of awkward and not a great card overall. But yeah, managed to still get there. Didn't see Akiri too much in our games, however. Would have been great if we had like the Scavenge Blade and Kite Sail with Akiri on the battlefield. We could have definitely leveraged it as card advantage, and would have been very difficult for the opponent to deal with. But overall, yeah, just a pretty nice Boros aggro deck. With a lot of party synergies, great party payoffs like the Seagate Colossus, Squad Commander, and the Merit Captain, as well as the Practice Tactics. We didn't have too many Clerics and Rogues, just one copy of Clerics and Rogues, but I don't think we were going to go all in with the whole party theme just to give all of our creatures +1/+0 indestructible and Merit Captain and Seagate Colossus the extra benefits. Like, it is pretty much game winning if you can get the full party, but it's very difficult, so I don't want to rely on. And either way, just being able to poop out a bunch of tokens is pretty much good enough for me. So I managed to do a lot of work in this deck, but I could again see myself discarding the exchanging the Tormenting Voice for the Sizzling Barrage just to have a little bit more removal and interaction. But overall, yeah, I'm surprised we even got to 7 with this deck. I don't think it's an A+ deck. It's definitely a very tier 2 level deck. For the most part, there's no insane bombs. The closest thing to a bomb is, I guess, like Akiri and like a Merit Captain and Squad Commander to a lesser extent. But even then, those aren't like insanely impactful cards. They're not like unbeatable. The whole game plan basically of red in this set, and red aggro in general, is to basically just kill the opponent as quickly as possible. And yeah, just make sure you have your solid curve, a decent party synergy, some okay late game cards, not too many, maybe a few, like around like 3 or 2, and you should be fine. And then like Songmat Treachery is a fine late game finisher as well. And yeah, go 16, 15 lands if you want to be a little bit more greedy, and sometimes you just get there. So let's crack some packs. And let's see. Pack 1, pick 1, Zendikar Rising. Pretend we are drafting. Alright, Philip is pretty broken. I would happily splash this even in an aggro deck. I mean, usually only red and green has splashing in this set and fixing, so it does go into the respective colors. There's the red card that destroys a land, draws you a card, and fetches up another land that helps you splash. And green has like a bunch of fixers as well at uncommon. Not too much at common. I guess there's the Reclaim the Waste, but yeah, definitely a powerful bomb. Definitely splashable, and wouldn't mind going to red-green just for it. This card is literally just insane and completely busted. Always make sure you play this first and then play the land afterwards. Unless you need to play it safe and need the extra blocker and you're kind of far behind, you could just play this on turn 6, of course. I mean, when you have your 6th land drop, and avoid growing your plant, but definitely the right play would just to be play this and then to follow with a land after to trigger a landfall. But yeah, Philip is quite undoubtedly pretty broken. The rest of these cards are just like okay. I don't even like the Spring Mantle Cleric that much. It can be a fine curve topper like for +1/+1 counter synergies or party synergies, but even then it's not that great. So yeah. Thundering Rebuke versus Vanquish the Weak. They're both kind of close. I did state red is the weakest color in this set, and black, white, life gain is the strongest two-color archetype. So, I mean, they're both very close, but probably still take the Vanquish here. Thundering Rebuke is very efficient, though, but it would commit us to red, and then red, again, wants to be hyper-aggressive in this set, so you kind of need to kind of commit yourself into a hyper-aggressive archetype by taking the Thundering Rebuke. It's a very strong card, of course. If it goes face, I would probably take it over Vanquish the Weak, but the fact that it doesn't makes me want to incentivize the Vanquish the Weak the more. Both cards are kind of close. Songmat Treachery is also an excellent mono double face card, but I would never take a solid removal spell, pack one, pick one, over for a mono double face card unless it's a removal spell itself, or a bomb that can like. I mean, there's a couple of bomb lands like the Awakening, the black, the triple black, where you just get a bunch of stuff back from your graveyard to the battlefield. There's the white ones, which can wipe the whole board or generate 2 flying 4/4 angel tokens and give all your creatures indestructible. But yeah, between these two, it's kind of close. Yeah, maybe Vanquish, since Black-White Life Gain is the strongest archetype, and Thundering Rebuke is sorcery speed. But I can see the case for Thundering Rebuke, since Red tends to be underdrafted at the table, since everyone knows it's not great to always be hyper-aggressive in this set. Wait, I'll take a Myriad Construct, goes in any deck. Pretty powerful card. Like, even if it sacrifices itself, you still get a bunch of 1/1 tokens out of it, and if you're able to grow this, like put a weapon onto this, or like put a bunch of counters onto this, then it can just generate even more 1/1 tokens. The Myriad Construct is a pretty strong card. If it's not, the Myriad Construct is an easy Thundering Rebuke. Between Bugcatcher and Night Runner, I would still probably prefer the Bugcatcher, since in the red aggro deck, you want to ensure you have a lot of excellent 2-drops. In order to pressure the opponent early. And the Bugcatcher can definitely get out of hand if it's not answered early on. So probably take the Bugcatcher, but Grotog can also fits in the same deck in the same aggressive game plan. With cards that are running Grotog, Bugcatcher as a decent pseudo card draw engine if it manages to connect, which can be fine, but either way, you still need to connect with it. And sometimes, you know, if if your plan is to tap out and in attack with a Grotag Night Runner, you might end up exiling a card that you rather not exile in the first place, but it's still a decent card. But probably just take the Myriad Construct, and then second place would be Thundering Rebuke. Okay, there's our nice mono dual face land, and then it also has a decent emergency button board wipe. Seems like the pick here are the great cards. I think I would take Deadly Alliance over Vanquish, and I would take Deadly Alliance over Moss Pit Skeleton and Skyclave Geopede. I don't need to commit to black-green too early, and I think Deadly Alliance is the best common in this set, along with Royal into the Royal. Skyclave Geopede, if you want to force the aggro deck, can be quite strong too, so I can see the case for taking it, but Deadly Alliance would be the secondary pick since it's very flexible. White is also a very strong color in this set, so I wouldn't mind just taking the Ondu inversion anyways. Like, usually people have the strange, they have the concept in their minds that black is a better color in limited than white in every single set, so they might just prefer the Deadly Alliance. But in this set, I think they're both kind of even split. I think obviously Nahiri's Binding is worse than Deadly Alliance, but White still has excellent party payoff cards, excellent rares, excellent commons, especially creature based like the Shepherds, Tazim Raptors, Yeah, white has a lot of great synergy in the set, so I would probably take the Ondoon version, given that you can play it not only as a land, but as a nice board wipe spell. So take the Ondoon version here. And sweepers are generally very good in limited, unless you're a hyper aggressive deck. Charix I don't mind. I think the card's a little bit overrated. It's a permanent ground blocker that you can play on 4, and so it can be decent in the mid game, and then in the late game, I guess this is where the card shines. You can just as long as you have a couple number of mountains, you can just attack with Charix and make it into a big creature that's difficult to block and kill. But it's not unbeatable. It still dies to vanquish the weak once you're tapped out, and the opponent can cast 5 mana for it. And it still dies to, like, a lot of removal spells, so it's not like an unbeatable card. It's a fine card, a good one. I think it can be a little bit overrated at times. I might even take the Landfall Crab over this, pack 1, pick 1, to be honest. But yeah, this can play in any blue deck, but it also doesn't have any party synergy. But I would probably still take it here. The other good cards include Rock Slide Sorcerer and Umar Wizard. I'd probably take Rock Slide Sorcerer over Umar Wizard, although they both kind of want to be in the blue-red Wizards deck. The Rock Slide Sorcerer has a little bit more flexibility, and yeah, just being able to ping off those 1 toughness creatures can be quite decent. And you don't necessarily, again, need to play this in the blue-red spells deck. I mean, you can just play this in black-red party, and it can be quite decent. So I'd probably prefer Sorcerer over Umar Wizard, but I would probably take Charix. Like, why not? I think it's a good card. I think it's a bit overrated, but it's a good card nonetheless. But there's definitely some uncommons I would probably take over this, like Low Mage's Domination, for example, or even the Landfall Crab. Looking at the commons, I'm a big fan of Royal Mage and the Shepherd of Heroes. Between these two, it is kind of close, depending on what type of deck that you want. But I would take the Charix here. Charix, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Excuse me. Yeah, Seagate Restoration is okay. Yeah, it's fine, but it's pretty expensive. It's a decent card draw engine, but it's not super amazing. You do need to have like a good number of cards in your hand in the late game in order to leverage this. And usually in blue, there's Field Research that can just draw you 2 cards for 3 mana. So I don't know. I mean, if I want a collection, I wouldn't mind taking Seagate Restoration. The most powerful flexible card in this pack is the Nahiri's Binding, but the more powerful card is by far the Surefoot Infiltrator for the blue-black Rogues deck. Given that Nahiri's Binding is probably not even that great of a removal spell in this set, good card, but has issues, I would probably just take the Surefoot Infiltrator. And Dimir Rogues is definitely a very strong archetype. Just being able to connect for 2 every turn and draw a card can definitely be very game-winning. So I'd probably take the Surefoot Infiltrator, abandon the flexibility of the Nahiri's Binding for a higher upside of maybe just forcing the Dimir Rogues deck. And the Surefoot Infiltrator can, yeah, definitely grant you a lot of cards in the long run and just a runaway of the game. So I think the Infiltrator, even though not the most flexible, has definitely enough higher upside that I would take it over Nahiri's Binding. But yeah, if it wasn't for Infiltrator, I'd probably take Nahiri's Binding. But yeah, Seagate was like whatever. McCain Stampede, we can always pick up that later if no one's drafting white. Alright, none of these cards are great. There's Acquisitions Expert, which I think is a little bit overrated. It's a fine card, but the problem is it's just a bad ground blocker and attacker in the first place. It's mostly going to chump. There's no real sacrifice creatures in the set besides the Skyclave Shadowcat. So I guess you can make an argument if you're in black-green that the Acquisitions Expert can be fine, not only for party synergies, but can be a creature that you don't mind sacrificing to Skyclave Shadowcat, but sacrificing isn't really a mechanic that's too well emphasized in this set. But overall, yeah, this pack is pretty weak. It's probably between Acquisitions Expert and Riptide. I don't know. Riptide is a little bit underrated. It's pretty good in the kicker decks. Yeah, I'll probably take Riptide over Acquisitions Expert. But yeah, it's fine 1-for-1, but overall it's not very impressive. I guess it can be decent if the opponent is like low on cards, so if they have like 1 more cards they're saving up or 2, it can definitely kind of like cheese them out, so to speak. So maybe it's not that bad after all. I think it's a solid card. I don't think it's unplayable. I just don't think it's super amazing. But yeah, maybe I would take Acquisitions Expert and Riptide. Both of these are kind of close. Between Scythe Cat and the Akum Warrior, I probably take the Scythe Cat. I think this is one of the best green commons in the set. Like a 3-mana 2/1 isn't amazing, but once you put 2 counters onto it and the fact that it's trample, this just makes it a really relevant threat that has to be dealt with right away. It's cheap to cast, it's easy to grow. It can definitely run away with a game if it goes unanswered. Akum Warrior, nice mono dual face card, can be played in the late game as a decent 4/5 body, or again can be played as a land. Pretty solid card, but I think the Territorial Scythe Cat gets a nod here. Also Stonework Pack Beast for party synergies, but I would still probably take the Territorial Scythe Cat. Malachor Blood Priest also decent in the party decks, especially if you're looking to be aggressive. It's also pretty good in Black-White life gain too, with the whole Cleric theme and the life gain theme going, so but I'll probably take Territorial Scythe Cat, pack 1, pick 1. Alright, and there you go, another nice 7-win video. Might fire off some more Zendikar Rising. I am finally enjoying the set a lot more than it first began. I was a little bit salty when the set came out because I thought Blue-Black was going to be the most broken archetype that need to be adjusted, but it seems like Black-White was a better archetype, and it seems like Red is not unplayable in this set. So there you have it. Yeah, this set, I think a lot of people have been saying that it's one of the best limited sets of all time, and I might change my opinion. I still think Dominaria is a little bit more fun. But overall, Zendikar Rising does feel a little bit more balanced than the rest of the other sets we had to contend with. Since, like, I don't know, Theros Beyond Death, where Black was completely overpowered. Ikoria, where Red-White Cycling completely dominated every other deck. And, of course, at 2021, where White was just pretty absurd with the Basri's Acolytes and Feat of Resistance at common. But there you have it. Nice 7-win video. And stay tuned for more videos. And have a great day. And take care. Bye.